Hey there, welcome to the garden this week. I'm currently cooking Sunday dinner, which is spaghetti, and what I need to get is some basil. So I thought I would come out to the green stalk, which is looking really, really good. We've actually been harvesting a ton of strawberries off here every day. Well, when I say a ton, this is first year and I only have so many plants on here. But every day the girls come out and they harvest like 1 or 2 strawberries from the green stalk. And there's all kinds of like good things happening as far as these cucumbers are growing up here with the nasturtiums. I need to deadhead these pansies. We'll give these to the bunnies because they love the pansy flowers. But what I came out here for is some basil for my cooking, which I need to trim down anyways. This is some purple opal basil, I believe. I don't really care what kind of basil I get. These are looking, I need to I hate to spray stuff, but I've had a bunch of Japanese beetles on the strawberries. So I think I actually need to come out with some pest spray and do a little bit of spraying. I also have, I was just sharing this on Instagram, I also have a bunch of aphids on my tomatoes. And I think I need to hit this tomato plant with some fertilizer. This is the Juliet tomato. Fertilizer and trim out the lower leaves, treat it for the aphids, because after the rain that we've had, it's getting humid now and the plant is looking a little rough, but I got basil growing in all kinds of containers, so go find some more. Let's see, I think there's some. Oh, here's some. This is the fun thing. If you grow basil all over your container garden, it's a great plant to grow with other plants, and then you can just, walk around and search a few different kinds. This is a licorice basil, but that's okay. We'll give the bunnies some flowers. They love the flowers. There you go. Hi, nasturtium. You'd love to eat this basil too, but tonight it's for me. I also think I'm gonna grab a little bit of this parsley, just to have a little parsley with our pasta sauce too. The bunnies also love the parsley. But today I get the herbs. I just got some onions going in here. And I'm kind of doing like my favorite pasta spaghetti pack, which is to cook up my onion. We've got garlic and fresh herbs. I'm going to add some sausage. Just how I hear the girls playing in the background. I guess we're not making spaghetti. We're going to make some elbows. But it's just my favorite little kind of thing to make the kind of pre-cooked, just pre-done tomato sauce and everything, but to make it a little bit homegrown and just a little bit more special by just throwing in some herbs from the garden, and at least there's something from the garden in dinner, which is just kind of nice. So I got a few things for 4th of July and I wanted to unbox them with you. None of this is sponsored, and I actually don't usually do a whole lot of 4th of July decorating, but we've got the new house, and so I just figured, it'd be fun to just like go all out for all of the holidays this year and do a little decorating, get some stuff. So I ordered a few things and I thought I'd just share them with you because, gardening and home decorating and everything, it all kind of goes together, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. I don't think I'm going to do a lot of decorating in the garden per se, but here in the house, we're going to do a little bit. These I'm really excited about. This is some little American flag candles. I got these from a little Etsy shop. I believe she hand makes them. Oh my gosh, she hand paints them. I've never seen anything like this, but then I saw a Pinterest post and someone had a couple candles. I'm gonna have to clean out my candle holders and put these in. I thought these were so fun. Yeah, cute little hand-painted candles. I'll try to remember to link her Etsy shop. But yeah, I thought these were so fun. So I got 2 of these to kind of add, and then I also ordered some, just like some ribbons and things for the house. This is just from Michael's. thought that'd be kind of cute. I need to do something on the fireplace, like some kind of a little garland, ribbon. They had one of these like collections of ribbons, so I think I'll add these to one of my wreaths for the front door, and then a little flag, another little flag garland maybe for up on the mantle. I don't know, I just thought it'd be kind of fun to add a few things. One thing that I have been doing, so I'll grab this one. I trimmed a couple of my coleus plants, and I put this one actually in a pot with soil, but I have a few other ones just in vases. I thought that the coleus looks kind of pretty. I'll show you a few shots with some of like the American flag stuff that we have out. And it's still early enough in the season that if you want to root your coleus, you can do that, and you probably still have time to like use those seedlings as like a coleus plant out in the landscape. So I have a few of these in different spots in the house just to kind of, I don't know, they kind of look cute. It's getting dark out, but I thought that these little like red coleus leaves were actually kind of sweet and pretty. So this is actually in a mason jar in here, just in one of my flower planters. And I'm just gonna fill that up with water. And then once those stems actually take root, then I'll just go ahead and plant that out into the landscape. So it's kind of a really fun way to add more coleus plants to your landscape if you want them. We've got some storms rolling in, so I'm gonna run out to the garden and try to get those seeds planted. I'll talk through with you what I am planting, and then you know, maybe one of these days we'll get all this 4th of July stuff set up in the house. Hey there, so now I'm out in the garden. Dinner was delicious. I feel like that addition of just a few herbs and fresh things from the garden just, I don't know, it just makes it that much more fun. It just takes like the meal to the next level. You'll probably hear some thunder in the background because we've had quite a lot of rain today, which is nice. I don't have to water the garden. And we got another thunderstorm rolling in. We actually have, I think we're under a tornado watch. We kind of caught some serious weather coming in, but because we've got more rain, I'm going to go ahead and plant a few more seeds. So I did go out to the garden center today, and unfortunately I didn't realize it was closed on Sundays. So I wasn't able to get some plants. I really want to get some annual flowers to put into the front garden up by the house. I feel like things are growing so slow. I'm looking at the corn out here right now, and it's looking a little bit better. You can see it's definitely growing. It's definitely coming up. But it just feels like with the wet that we've had and the cold weather that we've had, things are growing slow. So I have on my list to go to the garden center, get like some gomphrena, some angelonia, maybe even some like super bells, super petunias, something to put in around the nectarine trees. Like I need to get some more color up there. I need to brighten things up. But one of the things I am going to do is I'm going to resow a few zinnias, and I think I might actually also resow, oh, there's an ant that's like, let's not say, okay. And I think I might also sow a few cosmos, and I actually have some sunflowers. I think I'm going to sow a few more seeds. One of the things that happened this year was that we just had that cold weather, so a lot of the seeds that I sowed, they sprouted, but then they haven't really taken off. They're just like kind of hanging out, and they may come back up. They may sort of retry, but I don't know. I'm not convinced that maybe they haven't been permanently sort of stunted. And so I figured I'm gonna throw, oh my gosh, a lot of thunder right now. I think it's still far enough away that I'm okay. I'm just gonna throw in a few little seeds here before it rains. And then, you know, zinnias, especially now that the heat is on, zinnias are gonna grow really fast. In cosmos too. They're gonna come up, they're gonna start blooming pretty quickly. So I'm just gonna stick them in a few corners, kind of in the places where I had zinnias, the ones that aren't doing so well. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw some of these seeds in and give it my best go. So here's what we're going to be sowing. So I was going to order more zinnias, and then I realized, you know what, I have this huge collection of seeds. Let's just use up some of these seeds, and then next year I'll buy brand new, like fresh seeds. I'm kind of realizing that this first year garden is just, it's going to be slow. It's not going to be like the dream garden. It's gonna take a while for the garden to really get there. I'm gonna have a lot of failure this year. My soil is not very good. You know, I'm just building it. So I'm realizing that, you know what, this is not the year to like spend lots of money on expensive seeds. Like, this is the year to just use up some of the stuff that I have. And I'm really trying to take this year now into the approach of like just really seeing how I use the space, really planning out the space and allowing myself to sort of garden and plan for the future, knowing that a lot of these things are going to change for next year. One of the things I was thinking of when I was harvesting the herbs, I was thinking, you know, I really like to have the herbs actually in containers, because I rarely remember to like, okay, I'm going to eat this tonight, so I should like harvest this in the morning. And right now I have little children, and when you have small children, to actually like go outside and get down to the garden and get back up to the house is a more difficult task than you would think. Like, it is hard for me to just like run out to the garden and run back. So actually those things that I need sort of spontaneously, they need to be in the container garden up on the porch. So I think I'm going to move eventually the herbs up there. I don't think I'm going to do a lot of herbs in that garden space, at least for the next couple years, at least for next year. It's kind of like one of my plans. And so I'm going to plant some of these flowers around that area, maybe even some, you know, just, I don't know. I'm just going to like kind of plant them and let myself continue to plan, and just, yeah, I'm just using this year as like a getting my bearings, figuring everything out kind of year. And so we're just going to use up seeds. So some of these seeds are pretty old, which also may be part of, we'll see how the germination goes and how they do. But I would anticipate, like, how many days? Blooms in 35 to 60 days. So that's the really cool thing about zinnias. And especially when it is hot out, they grow so fast. So I think it's going to be good. So I have this mini zinni. Ooh, this is just like something I got at a big box store, mini zinni mix. And so it's got some lilliput, some button box, some thumbelina, and mostly just like really small flower heads. So it's not that the zinnias themselves are short, it's that they have like the flower heads are going to be small. But they're really pretty colors and kind of like those classic summery colors. So you can't really go wrong with anything like that. And 10 to 24 inches. So I guess maybe there's going to be a couple shorter ones in here, but I've grown this mix before and they all seem pretty tall. Other zinnias, I have a few, I think there's a few left in here, some Bennery's Giant. So those are the big zinnias. They're going to get like 3 feet tall, and you're going to have big flower heads. And I think, oh, again, gotta have some seeds. Just they're also going to be just in these classic colors. It doesn't have a specific color on here. It's just the mix. So we're just going to get a mix of colors. Last time I grew this mix, I got a lot of like oranges and reds, which was pretty. But I'm not really worrying about color this year. I'm like, I want something to grow, and I'm going to go to the garden center and I'm going to be able to pick out, when I pick out my started annuals, I'll be a little bit more careful about like the real like color combinations. But I'm just going to use up some of these seeds. Now these are some dwarf zinnias that I grabbed, the button box mix. So a little tickle in my throat. I'm also like listening to this thunder. It's getting very loud. It's not raining yet, so we'll go quick. So this is a mix, pink, purple, red, yellow, orange. These are shorter, so I'll only plant these when I'm out there, I find like an area where I want some shorter zinnias. You know, I actually have a couple spaces up in my green stalk. These would be perfect for a green stalk because they tend to be up to 10 inches tall. So that's like a perfect green stalk. You know, I might save those for the green stalk for like next year. I usually don't like to be outside when it's thundering like this. I do get worried about lightning, especially when I'm out in the middle of a field. So I may go ahead and head inside in a minute. I may not plant these. You might see me planting these in another video, but I'm just going to finish up talking you through the varieties. I don't really think I want to stand out in the middle of the field and plant them with this much thunder and lightning. Okay, cups and saucer cosmos. I'm going to throw in a few cosmos because they're just so pretty. These are like they're really sweet. They're like sweet yellow, kind of like, not yellow, pink and like whites. And they have like a little scooping center petals, which is why they're called cups and saucers. Really pretty. So I may stick, if I have room, I may stick in some cosmos. The others, I think that was all. Oh, I had some extra. These are a Cinderella lilac. These are old seeds that I've had for a long time, and I planted some out here actually in the pumpkin patch, and I think they're coming up, and I'm going to try to do a few more up there in the front garden. And lilac would be really fun because I don't have a lot of purple in that garden yet. So it'd be good to have some of those. And then I have some salmon. Again, these are like some of my very first seeds. I think I bought these like the first year that I gardened, and I have a ton of these old salmon colored zinnia seeds. One of the largest zinnias on the market, warm peachy tones, produce 3 feet tall, densely petaled. Like these will be really, really pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and plant a lot of these and just kind of use these seeds up. I think that, you know, the sort of peachy tones would be really, really pretty. I don't know what animal that is. And then a few more cosmos. So I have a double Dutch rose. I grew these last year in a container, and I loved these. These were absolutely gorgeous. They're 4 foot tall plants. When I grew them in a container, they were much shorter, but they're supposed to be really good for like a cutting garden. So that's going to have to be something I remember, because next year I want to do even more like specific cut flower gardening, but really pretty in floral designs in the landscape, very kind of cottage garden looking. I'm excited to get some more of those in. And then I pulled a few of my like carpet mix, kind of like oranges. And so carpet mix, which is gonna be orange, bright lights, which is an orange, red, and yellow cosmos. And then I have some of these cosmic yellow cosmos. And actually these are doing really well. I seeded these in a few different areas, and they're doing really well, coming up and looking beautiful. So I thought, you know what, I'll maybe do a few more. 50 to 60 days to maturity. So again, pretty quick. You know, I will be getting, as I keep saying, like, you know, seeds, it's like even 60 days, it's pretty quick, but it's still not going to be instant impact. But I think if I just stick a few in some of the corners, maybe that'll be good. I also pulled out these gold coin sunflowers. These are 20-inch tall sunflower with double heads. I actually grew these in containers as well last year, and they were so beautiful in containers. Really, really cute, and really happy in like an 8-inch container, 6-inch container. They did great. I planted some other, what was it? The dwarf, what was the variety? I planted another variety of like mini sunflowers, and they didn't, there's like one, I planted a row, and both 2 little sections of the garden, and only 1 seed germinated and it's coming up, which could be the seed error. It could also have just been like me and my watering, and if I missed a watering or whatever, it does dry out pretty fast up there in that garden. So I thought I'm going to resow those, like replant that area, try over again with these gold coin sunflowers, because I know they do really well. And I've had good success with them. Oh, and there's the lightning. Time for me to go in. I don't mess around with that, you know, when you're out in these big fields. Yeah, I don't want to mess around with that. All right, I'm going inside. Thank you so much for watching. We will talk again later, and I will get these planted. Stay safe in your gardens too. Bye.